Okay, and welcome to post-match for Wrexham AFC's game against Havant Waterlooville. I'm joined by Lee here, and hopefully we're going to be joined by Tom as well in a minute, discussing how the game went. So, Lee, first opinions on your overall the game today?
Yeah, good win. Really good first half, I thought. Some good saves from their goalkeeper. A little bit disappointing in the second half not to show a little bit more of that attacking, creative play we did in the first. But no, overall, a good win before we go on the road.
A good solid 3 points again. As you say, last home game until the end of the month, so it's before we go on the road. So important to get that. Again, a bit like the Barnet game last week. We could have converted a few more chances. That would have been ideal, but the creation's there, isn't it? You can see that we can rotate those front three. Obviously, Fond up away with the suspension today, and Chris Holwood misses out from that cramp from last week. So a different three up front and still great chances.
Yeah, we've seen a different variation in most games of three forwards, haven't we? And it's always worked. So no, it was good win today. Good 1-0 win, and the clean sheet as well.
Well, Tom's about to join us, so get Tom in and
making me go in the middle lately.
Yeah. So Tom, we've just been talking 1-0 win, important 3 points against a team that lower in the table, and especially going away from home. Could have been more. Rotation in the strikers again, this time due to injury and suspension.
Yep.
But a good overall win. Your assessment of the game?
Definitely, I think we could have been 4-5-0 up. Dazinski and the Havant goal absolutely. I think Rakil said he had a worldie basically. Wrexham really looked dominant, I think, most of the game. There's only a couple of occasions when Havant showed any sort of attacking threat. Kabamba was their main outlet, really, I found, and you kept him quiet, you kept the team quiet. But important win. I found that last season, if we had been 1-0 up now, and with the pressure they lumped on the last 5 minutes, they would have definitely we'd have crumbled last season, I think, with the way we play. But now I think the game management is a lot better. So very good win, especially with us not playing at home now in the league at least till the end of the season, end of the month.
Well, you mentioned no league game, but the cup draw. I think it's Monday. We'll find out who we will play and possibly home or away. Any preferences on home or away?
Home against a real low league team. Get us through to that first round.
Yeah, it would be nice. Cup run for a change.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping for anyway.
Yeah.
That's what I'm hoping for.
And a squad this time. The first time in a long time Wrexham have had a bit of a squad. There is strength and depth. There's the youngsters that will come in and fill out, but there's also the players that haven't had a chance to prove what they can do yet. Freddie Hines, Scott Burgess can come in potentially, and Christian Dibble hasn't even played a minute yet. So Doug Tharm again, he's been on the bench. So some players we might see.
Definitely, I agree with that.
Yeah, I think it's crucial. I think if you're going to get promoted, you need a big squad to rotate it, and like we were talking before about the front three. When we have done it, it's worked well.
And that front three, last year's problem was getting a striker to score goals. This year we've got 6 strikers in the squad, or sort of 6 forward players that seem to play that roles. 4 of which have scored now. I think Rutherford and Freddie Hines are obviously 2 that haven't. Last year the strikers weren't scoring. The midfield wasn't scoring. Is it a worry yet that our midfielders haven't really added into the goal tally? I think they've been closer this year, but is it a worry?
Not for me. I think Summerfield's like the assist master. He's like Ozil. He's definitely. I think he's got 5 assists or 6 assists this season. So really, I'm not really bothered if they're not scoring as long as they're assisting for the strikers. But to be honest, I think some of the defenders are getting goals as well. Pearson's got a couple. But there's the old cliche of getting goals around the team. Really, you do want your strikers to be getting the most goals. We shouldn't be relying on midfielders to get goals for us. So I think really with the front, 6 or 7.
Yeah.
Every player always looks like scoring. So I think that's really good for us. I think at the moment, especially Bevan. I really like Bevan's play. He's very intelligent and he uses his frame well. I know he's only a short lad, but he tends to get in and about, and he like ducks and dives, and he's got the intelligence of like a League One Championship player. So obviously he's played there before. So
yeah. And Lee, for you, which midfielder looks most likely to smash the back of the onion bag?
Well, probably Luke Young. After today, I thought he was good in the first half. It was good to see him back in the team, attacking midfielder sort of position. No, I'd agree with you with the forwards all scoring. I think that's the most important thing in Summerfield as well, getting all those assists.
Yeah, Luke Young, first 90 minutes, I think he said since Filed, I think was the last time he played a full 90 minutes. Obviously been on the bench and has started the odd one, but sort of been rotated around in that substitute. So, we said there's rotation today in the front three. Midfield's been the rotation, Bradley Walker in ahead of Akil Wright and Luke Young coming in for Akil today. And then obviously off the bench, both of them making appearances along with Rutherford, who's also played in that midfield, coming on the wing. So it's good to see. It's interesting how he plays, which combination against certain teams, and who he feels is the right combination. You've got Luke Young's that more attacking player. Luke's Summerfield obviously is the consistent cog there that makes the team tick. And then it's sort of like the workhorses around him, whether it's Akil Wright or Brad Walker, a combination of both.
Yeah, and I think it's good to have two players per position in a way. Brad Walker and Akil, they've got different qualities, I find. Brad Walker's he's a very good defensively minded player, but at the same time he tends to be more of a marshalling player, so to calm the play down, whereas Akil is like the full throttle player. He tends to get big tackles in, win the ball back and then pump the attack up. So I find Akil works well against teams that aren't very mobile, because he tends to get right in front of goal, and I think he's aching for his first goal, isn't he? So I think that may come sooner than he thinks. That's what I'm hoping for anyway. So
Well, Lee, we've had a comment in. Win's a win. It's pretty much what we're sort of saying, really. Just wish we could finish off teams and not be hanging on the end. The nerves can't take it. I agree, yeah, it's that at 1-0, teams are then in the last 20 minutes are always going to push on to you, and every time the ball's into the box, you never know at this league, because there's big physical players and it's only got to drop to one of them and they've got to hit him.
Yeah, I mean, we saw it last week against Barnet, and again today, seeing a 1-0 win, and I think against, no disrespect to Barnet or Havant today, up against a top of the league team, I think we might struggle. We can't just get that one goal and sit back. I think we've really got to try and kill the game off instead of just sitting back and inviting on pressure.
Yeah, well, back on the road, and you can join us next week to continue the journey, which has been a promising start, and hopefully it continues and we can push on, and well, you never know. We've done the first 10 games of the season. We're almost through the second half of those 10 games, and as we pile on towards the Christmas period, sides of going to drop points, gain points, and hopefully we can be there or thereabouts. So with that, we've been Lee, Tom, and myself, James, with the Wrexham AFC media team. Thank you.